We told you next time we see you public streaming.
Oh yeah, it's time. It's that time
Oh,
again. It's that. See, I try to start high energy,
yeah.
but I just can't. I don't have it in me. I was watching clips. Oh, this is Daddio. This is the podcast. I'm a comedian. My name's Glenn Tickle. I have a friend. His name is Ricky Glory. That's him. I still,
You love blank check. You
I,
love blank check.
I feel
You
like
just
we
do the
have
same
to.
timber.
We have to explain what the show is, but I don't think.
Well, that's good because there is. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a national outcry that is almost, I would guess, epidemic level of people clicking podcasts and not reading what they're about or what they are and having zero context. Right. So like us doing our part to let people know what they're listening to, because like a lot of times, like if we didn't say what the show was and we were just two middle-aged white guys talking and like halfway through someone's like, hey, what the fuck is this?
There was
that could be a really bad day.
A good couple of years there into like early podcasting where it was like radio people doing it, and they would do pretty radio specific stuff, like resetting the. Have you ever done radio, Ricky Glore?
Yeah, I did Bob and Tom.
No, but I mean, like, have you run a radio show? This seems like a thing you should have done.
Oh, I mean, my parents, every time I do the news, they're just like, oh my gosh, you're so comfortable. You should do that. I'm like, every morning be at the station at 4 a.m. and talk to people that I don't give a fuck about. Like, yeah, I'm cool with going on something.
No, I will do that once a week where my dumb friend Glenn makes me talk to him.
Yeah. I'll do that. But no, radio, what do you think I have a voice for the radio?
Yeah, it just seems like a thing you probably would have done at some point. I mean, I did my friend's radio show in college quite a bit. I was never fully committed, but
I was more drawing. I was doing a weekly comic strip that I got fired from.
But I would jump in there pretty regularly. But on radio, you have to do things like called resetting the guest, where like when you come back from break, you have to say, oh, it's this show. I'm talking to comedian Ricky Glore, because people are jumping around that dial while they're driving to work because, they don't want to listen to commercials, but then they'll come back or they'll, try to find something.
You're listening to the Blister and the Fister.
Yeah.
Today we're talking to Glenn Tickle, comedian.
But like people would do that on podcasts for years. And it's like, guys, I know who you're talking to because I downloaded the episode. It says it on my phone screen who you're talking to. But also the thing of like, oh, every episode could be somebody's first episode of Daddio. Maybe somebody saw me in Cincinnati this weekend and Googled me, because I certainly didn't tell them to listen to this. If I brought it up, I would have said, hey, I host a podcast every week with my friend Ricky. It's so much fun for me. Don't listen to it. It's not for you.
Yeah. It's for two people and occasionally a third person that we bring in. Or Dawn, who we assumed was a female, but it's Dawn in the name of like the new day has dawned. You met in Cincinnati, who is a regular, maybe the only regular listener to Daddy.
Well, not anymore. He's like, do you guys still do the podcast? Because when we were streaming it from Riverside, one of the outlets was Twitch. And that's what he was watching it on. But when we switched back to Google Meet, no Twitch no more.
Everything we do just loses.
I know, it's crazy what percentage of the live listening audience.
It's crazy how many artistic mediums we throw our hat into the ring of. And unanimously, every single one says, no, thank you. Or what's worse is there's zero response, right? Like you throw a rock in a well, you're listening for that pebble to like hit water or hit ground. I feel like we are deaf men still waiting for people to give us accolades or appreciation or recognition that what we're doing is a useful use of our time or is considered valuable art. Do you? So, I mean, do you want to talk about, I have been trying to remember as I've regaled friends with Billy Madison versus Batman. I'm like, oh man. And it ends, he wins in the boardroom, and fuck, it made sense when we came up with it. I was like, damn it. Now I don't remember how like the math equation, like how we got to the end. Because I remember when we were like, oh, he wins with business.
Yeah.
I don't like it was such a light bulb great moment. Like I feel like we high-fived and froze in midair when we said it.
I think we mentioned this
how
briefly
it worked
on the episode with Jake, who I did accidentally text this weekend with my Venmo because
give me money.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't understand. He just replied with question marks because I was in Cincinnati. I did shows at Bombs Away Comedy at the Comet with the homie Wayne Memento Wayne.
Memont.
And both of them, I had a group chat with you in.
It's so funny. You mispronounced his last name, and his first name is Wayne, spelled Wayne. And for the first few years of knowing Wayne, I called him Wanye because just Kanye. I just figured if your name was Wayne, I'd do this all morning. Just gonna.
You're gonna pull a muscle, reach that hard.
Wanye. This
but,
is why everyone's like, no.
Because I had you put me in touch with him. And then last week you texted me with Jake. So I was like, oh, I have to pull Wayne's number. I'll let him know I'm on the way.
Yeah.
So I did that before the show, but I texted Jake. And then after the show, Wayne's like, send me your Venmo so I can pay you. And I sent it to Jake. So Jake, out of nowhere, just gets a text from me on my way. An hour or so later, linked to my Venmo. And he replies like, I thought you were charging me to be on the show. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, we're very exclusive. That's how you get on that. You gotta pay.
Yeah.
But I was in
we'll send you an
Cincinnati.
Email and be like, look, we've been have you been getting the fake booking emails from Chicago?
No.
Or people saying that they're from Chicago? Okay.
I've
started to get those again.
Emails.
It happens. It started happening again, same time as it did like the last few years around holiday season. It's just like, oh man, we need you last minute. And they put up an address that I'm familiar with in Chicago because they've done enough research for the scam or whatever, except for it's the same location every time. I'm like, guys, you got to redo these scam emails. Like if you're trying to get me.
I've gotten a couple. I feel like I'm good at spotting the fake ones, but also I don't, they're usually for bad shows. Like the setup is like, we're looking to hire you last minute for this corporate gig. It's like, oh, okay. Yes. Well, I don't want to do that. So
yeah, stuck parts. And you're giving me no details.
The idea of like, ooh, if we say it's a corporate gig, then they'll think it's going to pay a lot and they'll like jump right on it. And it's like, nah, like,
you know why? Because one of the next questions always in those scam emails is, let us know what your budget is, or like what you want to be paid, what your fee is.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh man, even if this was a real email, a real booking inquiry, that would annoy me.
Yeah, I get that question legitimately a lot.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I don't like it. Can you just tell me how much
can you
how little
start
you
with
want
a
to pay
number,
me?
please?
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you if it's enough or not. You know, I just did when we were in Nebraska. I got a couple leads through the Bash. We were talking about it's a website, entertainers that you can book jobs through. I got 2 leads. One was direct. No, I think they both were. I double checked. One was direct, but it was like kind of last minute for what would have been a corporate gig in Philly last week.
And the other one was the Buffalo.
Yeah, farm. The Philly one didn't get back to me. They sent it to me directly, but you can also like add. A lot of the times in the Bash, I'll get a lead, but it won't be to me directly. It'll just be to like, we need comedian, please. So anybody at a certain, price range and physical radius will get a contact. Sometimes they will send it to one person directly, add other people on, and I'll be one of those people, but it'll be like, dear Steven, we would love to put, I'm like, I'm not Steven. I'm not.
I straight up, because I did my 2 corporate shows, my 2 holiday corporate shows, the last 2 Mondays, again, came from the Bash, but I had a general, just a net cast looking for a comedian. It's about an hour away, but it's a house party for about 20 people. And it's right in smack dab in the middle of filming, but it's on the weekend. So I'll be off technically. Obviously things will arise, but I was just like, ooh, I don't want to turn this down, but I'm going to reply with my quote asking for more specifics, and I'm going to have it be the top amount that they're saying their budget is, which is $2,500. And I was like, I'll bring a comedian with me because that's nice for me. But I was like, give me some more information, and I can't budge from this amount, and I need half of it up front. Just thinking they would never. And then they replied, they're like, all right, let's get on a phone call this week. And I was like, fuck. I was like, I don't want to do like, but if they're going to pay me that much,
yeah.
And then we never got on a phone call because I'm sure they were like, no, this is a bad, like, again, if you make the price,
we shouldn't
up,
do this.
Now
that we think about it,
do this. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hiring somebody to entertain us at our house for 20 people. That won't be, no one's going to have a good time. No, that'll be yucky.
He's going to be able to see all of us. Our lighting is not going to be great. Yeah. It's going to be weird.
But the Philly thing, they reached out with like sometimes they'll put, I don't know for the budget, which I will almost exclusively not bother replying to. But they put a range. I don't remember what it was. But Philly is not that far from me. I'm there and back in the night. I don't need a hotel. I can just say, yeah, I'll meet you in the middle of that range because like travel and hotel aren't a concern. You're pretty close. It's kind of last minute, so I'm not going to go bottom of the range. Replied as like, yeah, I've done corporate events at the place that they were holding their event. So yeah, yes, you were correct in reaching out to me for this event. Happy to do it. Didn't hear anything back. And then the other one that I got was a bison ranch in central New York, and they reached out to me directly. They came in with a budget, and I was like, that's not enough money though, because it wasn't just, hey, can you come? It's like, can you come? Can you also bring 2 to 3 openers? We're going to insist on there being an intermission. And they want like a full 2 hours, I think, with the intermission. So it's not just like me going somewhere, doing 45 to an hour and going home. It's like, well, I got to put this whole thing together now.
They want you to do pop-up show comedy club.
I checked the place out. I do not remember the name of it. Or I would say, because we worked it out. I'm doing the gig, but it's like, well, I have to go slightly higher than what you said your budget was. Cause if I'm bringing 2 to 3 people, I'm going to pay them, and you're kind of far from me. And
yeah, excuse me.
It's like a little, I forget exactly how far from my house, but it's kind of like on the cusp of like, well, do I get a hotel or do I just drive home after?
You don't want to stay on the bison. You don't want to stay on the bison farm.
Probably not. I feel like it's probably gonna smell like a farm would be my guess. But I think the homie Paul Spratt is coming with me.
Okay.
Bit of a strategic ask on my part because he lives basically on the way, so I can be like, oh, I will get you to the gig, like just I'll pick you up, but then it breaks up that drive a little bit. I've got someone else in the car. I still need a couple people. I got to figure out who that lineup is. But it's also like I was looking on their site, like it's a venue. It's not just a farm is deciding, hey, we want to try doing a one-off comedy shows. Like they have bands and stuff all the time. So I think it'll be good. But it's like, well, if I'm doing additional work beyond just showing up and telling jokes, then it's additional money.
You would have loved. So
they were down for it. So I'm excited.
You would have so not this past Monday, but the Monday before, the first and only gig that I've booked through the Bash for tech nerds for this medical company. I had provided like what I would like to have, the microphone, mic stand, room beforehand. I listed the bare minimum of what makes me comfortable to do a show. Now, like I asked to bring an opener, they agreed, paid them out of my money. And the one 2 weeks ago was in this ballroom of this hotel. My opener came, he was just like, there's nothing they can do with the lights. I was like, I asked them for the things that matter to me. Like corporate shows most of the time are fine, whatever. Like,
yeah,
I need to be show level for all that, even though I know that makes the show better, but blah blah blah. Like I'm not going to push hard.
A lot of times you're just talking in a very brightly lit Holiday Inn conference room.
So having a stage, a microphone, yes, it was cordless, but the lights weren't on, but everyone was looking like that's good enough. They gave us a room beforehand, a little office, and I changed a little boardroom. So the woman who booked me for that through the bash was just like, oh, you know, we're having another conference next Monday at a different place. Do you want to do that for same arrangement? I was like, 100%, amazing, love this. The first one went well enough that we weren't booted off. But when we got to this next one, it was a different hotel. We went up to the floor where they're performing or where the performance is going to be, and it 100% was just where they have their continental breakfast.
Yeah.
Morning. Like
I've done a lot of those.
It felt like college shows, like where they pop you in the cafeteria because people are by.
Or even there's a lot of just like Friday and Saturday only comedy clubs that are just like in the breakfast area of the hotel,
where they put up the banner thing that's on a stick, and they drop it down and they have it there. Yeah.
That's fine. I'll do them. Happy to.
There was no mic stand. It was cordless again. We were in an even brighter lit, less set up for comedy. When I got there, I was like, hey, so yep, got my suit. I'll throw it on. And it was freezing cold here Monday, blistery snow, as it was in many areas. And they were like, oh, let me see if we can find you a room. And I was just like, I'm not that frustrated. I'm not that petty and like diva-y, but I'm just like, what do you think changed from last week to this week?
I don't insist on like a separate little area because I'm like, worst case scenario, happy to go sit in my car for a little bit. But I mean, I also really, I don't insist on much because I always feel bad asking people for anything, really. Before the pandemic hit, when I was still doing like a lot of college shows every year, I finally like got up the nerve to ask my then college agent. I was like, hey, you know, like in the contracts, there's the rider for like stuff that artists ask for. Can I put some stuff in there? He's like, yes, I've been telling you can do that the whole time. You always say that you don't need anything. I was like, can I request? And it was so basic. It's like, can I have one room temperature bottle of water? Can I have a cold bottle of water? Can I have a cold Diet Coke? And can I have some snacks that are vegetarian? And he's like, yeah, is that all? And I was like, yeah, it's just because he's like, that is no one's gonna say no to that, man. Yeah, absolutely. The biggest problem was like, I'll get
to on the podcast, the Damon Wayans of it all, where his rider was crazy long. And so
but it was truly, it's like
make sure
I need a room temperature bottle of water to bring on stage. Because if you're drinking cold water while you're talking, it like tightens up your vocal cords. It makes it harder to talk. I don't need like special tea or it's just like, but when I get there, it's like, a cold bottle of water to drink before the show would be great. A warm bottle, room temperature bottle on stage would be fantastic. Diet Coke's my favorite thing to drink because I vacillate between Diet Coke and Diet Dr. Pepper being my favorite things to drink. It goes on like a couple year cycle. I think we're hitting the end of the current Diet Coke cycle, and we're gonna have to switch back to Diet Dr. Pepper, which is the way, you know, people are talking about how like the Earth's polarity is gonna flip, and everybody's worried about. It's basically the same thing, but he's like, yes, that is so reasonable. It's weird because I was talking to him on the phone. He's like, you sound nervous about asking me for it. It's like, what if you put it on there and they say no or think I'm being unreasonable? He's like, I promise you asking for snacks and water is not unreasonable. And the snacks thing is just like, when I get to colleges, sometimes the shows are at weird times, but it's like, I'm usually driving most of the day. I get there and they're like, oh, like we can get you a meal. And it's like, well, I don't want to eat right before the show.
I don't want to go. And also I don't want to go to your commissary at the fucking college. Like,
well, colleges specifically, that really seems to be part of it for them. like the student activities kids, like part of the reason they do it is they're like, oh, we can bring like bands and comics and like kind of get to hang out with them a little bit.
Oh, I've never had anybody that wanted to hang out with me.
I would rather do that with student activities kids at a college than like any corporate job I've ever done, where they're like,
100%.
oh, like, you know, the event starts at 6, you can come and like you can have dinner with us, and then like the show will be at 8, and it's like, hey, I'll see you at 7:30. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's why I need my separate little room.
Or event starts at 6, I'll show up at 5:30, tell you what you set up wrong, and then we'll see what we can do about it, and then I will come back in 2 hours. I get so uncomfortable. I mean, you've seen me interacting with other humans. I'm not good
after
at
the show was just like, oh, are we gonna go out and like hang out? I'm like, no, we don't have to wait to be paid. I was like, we're leaving. Like,
yeah,
we've done, like, we're not mingling. Like, we're not gaining fans here. Like, this is like,
I like the bash a lot. Mainly, I mean, for the obvious reason of like, I've booked a lot of work through it, but I am so uncomfortable like talking to people about money and stuff that like having them as a third party, similar like when I do college shows, typically they're supposed to hand me a check at the end of it. Or if they don't, I know that going in because it's like in the contract, or sometimes they will like mail the check to my agent and they mail it to me. But if it doesn't go the way I was expecting it to go, all I have to do is be like, hey, Wally, they were supposed to have a check and they didn't. Can you make sure I get paid? And then
this is part of your job.
Yeah. Right. This is your problem now. And
I did my job.
But it's truly like, it's like that's one of the things, one of the benefits of having someone like that is because then I don't have to be the annoying guy asking for the check. That's Wally's job. And he's great at it. And if I do a bash gig and they're supposed to pay me day of and they don't, it's like, well, now the bash will be like, hey, pay this artist.
I think that would be trickier where it's like a faceless entity that is.
I've had great success with work, but it's also just like asking for a deposit and stuff. It's like, it's easier for me to manage it all through that site. So the Bison Ranch thing, they reached out through the bash. I replied, and then I think she like found the contact page on my site. She's like, I was trying to write back on the bash. I kept having problems with the messaging system, which the bash, I've also had problems with your messaging system. I don't know who I got to talk to over there, get it sorted. But they're like, we want to book you for the day. The day that we asked you originally has been booked already, but if you can come this other day. And I was like, yeah, I've also had problems with their messaging service. It's no problem. Feel free to contact me on here. But it's like, book me through there though. Like you have to go to the site and book me through there. Mainly because the bash expressly like tells you, they're like, oh, if you get a contact through here, book through here. Like, don't skirt us to avoid paying the, I think 5% that they take, which is incredibly reasonable. Because they handle the payment, they handle
wait. Are you saying there's a
to them
between other bookers that we've worked with who will get paid $2,000 and then pay us $400?
Yeah. It is.
You think that happens? That's
constantly.
crazy.
But also I mean, there's like a calendar built into the bash that I've linked to my calendar. So if I book something in there, it gets automatically put on mine. So I don't have to worry about my dumb ADHD brain forgetting to put something on a calendar and then missing a gig, a thing that I worry about constantly. A thing that's it's never happened.
It's the same as having the
it has, but no one's ever followed up.
That you're in a play, right? Or that you're doing a show or like even stand up and you forget all of your material or you didn't learn your lines or whatever. Like, it's just one of those fears that I don't know. I don't know why it exists. I think it is just like, oh, what if we do that? What if we book this show and we completely forget and it's so far away and it makes me look bad. And then from then on, nobody ever books me again because I'm a terrible dum-dum.
This is almost exactly the conversation I had with my therapist this week, but To me, I'm like, yeah, those all sound like reasonable things to worry about. And she's like, well, has that specific situation ever happened? And I was like, well, no. And she's like, so don't worry about it. I was like, well, I disagree and I will continue to worry about it. Like I've only ever double booked myself once. And it was a thing where it's just like, I forgot to put the thing on the calendar. And then as it was getting close, I realized, I'm supposed to be in two places at once. One, I was featuring at a local, one of the like hotel breakfast room clubs that's not around anymore because it was run into the ground by some of the worst people that I've worked with. I was supposed to be featuring, I think, just that night. It wasn't even a full weekend. Or the other thing I agreed to do was headline a cancer benefit. So I called the woman who ran the bad club and I was like, I'm so sorry. I just realized I've double booked myself. And she's like, well, you're going to have to cancel the other thing. I was like, oh, that's not why I'm calling you. I was like, look, I before I called her, because I knew she'd be pissed. And I think reasonably, like, I'm not saying she was being unreasonable for being upset. I'm like, let me call before I even tell her I can't do it. I'll talk to a couple people, see who's around, who can fill in with 20 minutes. So I found somebody, called her. I was like, I'm so sorry. I accidentally double booked myself. I can't get out of the other thing because I'm the whole other thing. If I cancel that, there's no event. You can find another feature, no problem. Andy Malafarina's free tonight. And she's like, well, Andy is not a feature. I was like, Andy is great. And I'm like now arguing on behalf of my friend, who I think at this point is probably more successful than either of us. But she's like, no. And I was like, hey, look, I tried, right? I got your replacement.
Yeah, good luck.
You know, she's like, I'm not going to book you. Okay. I don't like working your club. Yeah. I don't like you on a personal level. But then also, like, next time somebody else canceled last minute because she knew I was 15 minutes away from the club. She's like, can you come fill in? Yes, I'd be happy to, you troll. But I went and did the cancer benefit and we cured it, guys. We solved the problem. It's all gone.
You did it. I
mean, I did it. Your camera's off. I wasn't sure if that was because you were doing.
It's on purpose because I'm doing work, and
that's fine. I don't need to look.
Apologize. I know.
I just wanted to make sure that you knew.
I didn't want you to think that I was being disinterested.
I thought you were taking your hog out. Is genuine. I thought this is time to air it out time, but you can't. You knew that would get the stream pulled.
Yeah. So can you? I cut you off before, as we always do.
Yeah, you frequently do, bud.
Do you? Yeah. I mean, it's back and forth. I mean, we tell the same fucking stories every episode. It's got the amount of times I've heard the Philadelphia story.
It is mainly
on this podcast.
It is mainly just because I have a hard time getting. If I get cut off, I have a hard time getting back to it because of the ADHD.
Yeah. You mean the thing I don't have?
The shows in Cincinnati, the early show, there were a couple of chatty ladies off to the side, and I don't try to like shut down people talking or heckling unless I think it is disruptive to the audience. It's a pretty small room, so like it was, but it's all distracting to me. And they came up after and like apologized, and then I kind of apologized. I feel like I went a little hard on you ladies. I'm sorry. Like I was rushing. I rushed to the show from the Dr. Mario tournament. I was stressed about my standings in the Dr. Mario tournament. I'm trying to remember the jokes, and then I just hear like these two ladies loudly talking to each other. And I didn't like flip out on them. It's like I usually would just ignore it, but I could like see the other people turning to look at them, and it's like, oh hey, shut up. And I said one kind of mean thing. I haven't checked the tape, but it's like, yeah, like I can't. If I get distracted, I have a hard time being like, oh, what was I talking about? I'm just going to move on to a completely different topic. You guys are only going to hear the first half of that joke. I'm so sorry. But what did you cut me off about?
I cut you off about talking to Jake about Billy Madison versus Batman. Do you wanna talk about that? I mean, I don't have a subject, but we said on the last episode that we would spend an episode talking in depth about the comic book that we argued through and outlined.
We can do this. I think this is a good example of what I mean. I feel like I don't want to speak for all comedians, but this is a good example of what happens on the road. When I was at the Dr. Mario tournament, one of my Dr. Mario friends was like, "Oh, did your wife like worry about you like being gone on your own so much?" Because I was also talking about like, oh, because I got an email over the weekend from my cruise agent. They're like, "Hey, could you maybe go to Portugal on Tuesday for a week? I know you're already going on the other one. we can get you back for like half a day in between, so you can Portugal. Like look at your children." And
you're like, "No, that's all right."
And because I'm already gone 2 weeks on cruises this month, and then I left to do a Dr. Mario tournament, and I try to like manage and space out the time away, you know, to hold up the daddy side of Daddio, and not just like be gone all the time as a comedian. But they're like, "Oh, did your wife like ever worry about you like traveling so much without her?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't think so. I think maybe she's worrying that I'm like sitting in my hotel room playing too much internet backgammon, but it's I the wildest thing that I did was the Dr. Mario tournament ran long, and I was in the basement of an arcade in Cincinnati at like 12:30 at night, and it's like, yeah, it's getting crazy. Like that's the wild, that's the dark, wild side of me traveling.
Yeah, I like also for my own comfortability, and as we've talked about, it should be no surprise to anybody that we are selfish creatures and delusional to a degree because of the thing we're doing, and that's the reason why we're traveling is stand-up. But also the people to keep comfortable that I kind of surround myself with, same idea of like leaving a corporate show as soon as it's done, or, you know, depending on how I'm an act after any show, is I'm not going to travel with anybody that has a completely diametrically different life than the life I live. Like, oh, after a show, do you want to go to a Denny's, a Perkins, a place that serves breakfast or some sort of food?
We're not living out an episode of Dave Attell's Insomniac. It's like, do you want to go get some eggs and then talk about how the show went? It's like, yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah. For my wife's birthday last weekend, we went to eat at a restaurant in Cincinnati called Rosie's. It's a nice Italian restaurant. That was at 5:30. So we can make the symphony tickets that we had at 7:30 and then get home by 9:30 because mom and dad are tired. And it doesn't matter if we're having a night out or if, like, I'm not using the opportunity of being on the road to being like, oh, we got to find where the titty bars are. And I got to drink all the beers and the shots. Like, I'm going to get some gummy candy at the gas station.
I'm going to get myself a lollipop for the drive.
Yeah, like I'm gonna eat candy. I love that gas station that said everyone, it was on a mural on the subway tiled wall next to the bathroom.
Where they just stole somebody's tweet.
Yeah, it was a Cubby Bear gas station or something. We stopped there on the way up and then on the way back from Nebraska. I really liked it, but yeah, the tweet was everybody should act like they're a 10-year-old kid who was given $5 and told they can buy whatever they want at the gas station.
I believe the quote is, regardless of your age, when you're buying snacks for a road trip, you should act like a 9-year-old who's an unsupervised 9-year-old with $100.
That's 100%. I took a picture of it, but yeah,
I knew it because I'd seen it before. That's why I was like, I mean,
oh, okay.
This is the venue to put this quote, I guess, because you're a gas station and this is where people buy road trip snacks. But that was they just straight up uncredited pulled a tweet from the internet and painted it on their wall. But yeah, like that is the big difference. It's like, oh, I will eat worse. I don't eat great at home. But it's like I'm largely out of necessity, where it's like, I don't know, I'm driving all day. I will like pull through a drive-through more than I will at home because it's like, well, I have to keep going, but also I'm hungry, so it's time for an Impossible Whopper from Burger King, or the thing I did on this trip was Arby's has like a Thanksgiving sandwich where it's turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, and like fried onions, like you would put on a casserole. And I was like, can I get that, but just without the turkey? And the young lady working at Arby's was so confused. And she's like, do you want it with roast beef and stuff? I was like, no, just all of the other stuff, just not the turkey.
Yeah, you know how there's like sides on Thanksgiving and I can choose, I'm not forced what I eat or what I consume or the ideology of what I should have to have on a holiday. But okay. But what we do is, and as we gave the setup last time of, and we'll do it quickly. We went and checked out the venue for the Johnny Carson 100th birthday. Yeah. They had all of the Jack Hanna. Sorry, I'm blanking on because I keep wanting to say Jack Handy.
Jack Hanna wasn't there because I think he's dead,
long dead. But every animal that had ever appeared on the Tonight Show with Johnny.
Some of them.
Okay, not all of them.
And not the kinds of animals. A lot of the animals that had been on Johnny Carson's Tonight Show also probably dead.
Look, if you're getting happy thinking about these classic moments that you remember watching, and now you're being forced to remember that all those people are dead.
It comes from all. You and I got to meet a monkey. That was exciting.
Hell yeah.
Libby got to hold a big snake, which she seemed thrilled about.
We did our sound check. Libby, the curator of the museum, took us around, told us some stories. On the drive up there, weirdly, we were talking about Hugh Jackman and his validity as a good actor or just a performer. And I was like, oh, there was the movie. Well, because I was trying to remember the movie where he played someone who was running for president, and it was actually historical. Jason Reitman movie. It's very much like The Candidate. Just in a weird chain of events. The Johnny Carson wax figure, they have all of the cue cards that are in front of it, like where the stage is built, so you can act like Johnny and read the cue cards like he was to the cameras, blah blah blah. And what's crazy is they had like the 1991 cue cards from Johnny's last year or whatever up there, and the jokes that he was telling in his monologue were about Senator Gary Hart, the real life person that Hugh Jackman played in the movie that I couldn't think of. So like when I went up there and stood there, I was just like, oh, Gary Hart. That's the name I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So we went back to our room after sound check and we were going to lay down for a quick little nappy poo.
Love it.
And we didn't because
we did not.
We were talking about,
because we're wild men. And
we talk about
wild men on the road, baby.
We talk about Robin. I think you, homered the Iliad for me for the Titans show because it looks real bad.
Yeah, I forget what we were talking about. Adaptation.
How cool it was to have live action, but Titans seemed kind of like the same as some of those CW shows where it's like a step above porn actors. Worse.
I mean, I don't think I finished out any of the CW shows, but like that first season of Arrow, pretty good. Legitimately, like
I like Smallville, and I don't
pretty quickly they just made him Batman, which was a little disappointing because I really like Green Arrow as a character, mainly because and like people will criticize Batman and be like he could do more good for Gotham like as a billionaire using his money effectively than he can as Batman. And Green Arrow was also basically just rich guy vigilante, and he realized that and he's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna divest from my company, I'm gonna donate all this money, now I'm broke but I'm still gonna be Green Arrow, which I always really liked. But in the show they're like, well, no, he's just we can't make a Batman TV show right now because of rights, so he's gonna be Batman. Like we all know he's Batman. But pretty good. And then it got weird and they added all the other shows, and like Flash, same thing, like first season pretty good. Then it got a little too teen drama-y, and the Flash as a character doesn't interest me because how's he gonna beat the bad guy? Is he gonna do it by running a little bit faster than he thought he could? Yeah, just like the Hulk, it's like, oh, he's a little bit even stronger now than you realized in the last issue. Okay, great.
And I'm sure there's a Flash comic book that explains this with his like molecular structure. But I'm like, okay, so he can do one of the things Superman can do. Like there's like, all right, but like how does your skin just not like shred? when you're running so fast. Like I get like the metabolism. Like I do like a Barry Allen Flash, a little Weisenheimer, because every Justice League or
the Flash
DC,
showing up for a little bit in something.
yeah,
great. I don't
he's fun.
I don't need you to be the main guy that I'm paying attention to.
Right, because I also, for other times, I have Robin. Like, I get that you are a main character, but like everything that you bring with your like sarcasm or your younger outlook on it, like, yeah, I get that with Robin.
I think the thing that I like about the Robins in general is that they are not great at this yet. Where like the Charlie Cox Daredevil show, there's the hallway fight scene that they ripped from Old Boy. But it's like, oh, this shows that like this is hard for Daredevil. Like, yes, he has this heightened radar sense, he has all this ninja training and stuff, but like this isn't just like him mowing down bad guys. This is taking effort, and I think it really set up the tone of that show of like, he's basically, yes, he's blind, but he's got radar sense, but he's basically just a guy. He's not Superman. He's not just mowing through guys like they're nothing. But like with the Robins, it's like, well, yeah, they're like learning how to do this. So they can still mess up and get crowbarred to death by the Joker.
I mean, I will say that like I accept and allow, but we both, this may be where it came from, was that we never like Batman in space. We don't like any proper, like most space stories.
I love space. I want space, but I don't like, need Batman.
When Professor X, or like when X-Men.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about the Shi'ar Empire or the Broccoli people.
Yeah. I mean, I do love that Professor X, like when he's fully capable from the waist down, which I guess he always would be because he also has superpowers. He could just have to like focus down there to make it work. But like, I love that he fucks so well that she's like, you can't leave. You have to be the king of our people.
You must lead
so well.
You
must lead us because because when you can walk here, you are just wrecking it. And I'm going to need it all the time. But so I think we said Batman in space. So Batman with gods, right? In DC, being a dude, the thing that's always against him or knocked against him. I accept it based on who the character is. As much as I like Robin and the Titans and the Teen Titans in different iterations, wild move for the original costume, though, as I mentioned. I have a harder time for exactly the reasons you just said, right? Like Robin's still figuring it out. When they have sometimes younger Robins in the Teen Titans with like Raven and stuff, like, or Cyborg, or these different like meta humans, I'm just like, Robin, like, what are you meeting a quota? Like they need to have one human,
just like, one regular guy around,
can do like a backflip,
and he's the leader.
Yeah, it's wild, right? He's like, no. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
and he's talking aliens. Like there are people who come through the Titans who are from other universes, other planets, other species, all of them.
He bones down with Starfire so hard.
Yeah, and also like her,
and she's like, "Oh, I'm space royalty, actually, but sure, I will listen to you." Like
space royalty with a mind of a 5-year-old, like in some iterations.
Yeah, that's like, more in just kind of the Teen Titans Go version where she's like goofy ass. But that whole show was, I really like Teen Titans Go as a version of Titans, because it takes all of the like, it is weird that Robin is in charge of these aliens and metahumans. And they're all just like, man, you're so good at strategy, man. And
Batman. But that's always what it is. They're like, you're the leader because you know Batman. And Batman may be paid for the Titan Tower.
Yeah.
Like that's
a big part of it. Is like, you're the landlord.
And you're good looking.
Yeah.
Like, and you're kind of like an Alvin. Like you're the Alvin of the group. Like, okay, you're maybe not the most talented, but like you're the most spunky. And you wear red. All right. Seems like you'd be a giant target right? Like, because we're going to be fighting other aliens and other big entities, and you're just coming in loud, wearing
we can
red.
shoot lasers from our minds. Oh, but you have a little stick. Oh, hey, that's so cool, buddy. Oh, it gets bigger. Wow.
You have a smoke bomb?
Like
that's pretty cool. But like,
give us that Titan story where all the Titans are just like, we got like, it's almost like Make-A-Wish when they dress that kid up as Batman and let him be Batman, and everyone's just like playing along so he feels good. Wonderful, heartwarming story, but it's just like always that for
what I think about the
Cyborg's like, hey, he needs this, guys. Come on.
I'm not saying this to be edgy. I'm not edgelording anybody over
are we
here.
going edgelord now? Are we dark?
But man, I'm pretty sure the kid that they did Batman for a day lived. I think he beat his whatever.
That's good.
That's good. But like, man, as that kid, like they do that because they're just like, ooh, this is hopefully going to, you know, make you happy. One big time, like one big, all your birthday parties wrapped up in one because you might not have any more. And then that kid lives and he's just like, oh, all right. Well, the best day of my life was when I got to be Batman. I mean, I guess being cured of whatever I had is pretty great, but like, I'm never going to get to be like everything is going to be measured now against
or it
Batman.
goes the other way and he just becomes Batman.
Oh,
he's like, it worked once. And I was pretty sick at the time. Now that I'm at full strength, I'll be unstoppable.
And do you think that's part of the thing too? That are like,
oh, maybe if we do
crime. The positivity of this thing that we're going to do, this Make-A-Wish, is going to give them the strength to beat whatever it is. Maybe that's
I mean, genuinely, I think that's part of it. Where like when my daughter broke her arm when she was 3 and she was in the hospital for 2 days, they kept like, there was a lady whose whole job it was to just come in and try to like cheer up the kids. She's like bringing her little gift bags. They came in with like a therapy dog that the kids could pet. She was so strung out on the not antiseptic, anesthesia. Because they had to put her under to like put her arm back together, basically. So like she was asleep for the dog. She does not remember most of it. Also, she's 3, so she's not going to remember a lot of it now anyway. But yeah, her name was also, the woman's name was it also Olivia or also Amelia? It's one of my daughter's names. But yeah, she just like kept coming in to like try to cheer the kids up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure a million studies on how genuinely helpful that is. Because like, I don't know, I've been in hospitals and you're just bored and feel bad. And it's like, I don't know what to do. And somebody brings you a coloring book and you're like, hey, thanks. This will kill 20 minutes or whatever. So I think it is great. But if you were going to do one, if you were going to do a Make-A-Wish, if you find out you got 3 months, how you going out?
Ooh, what do I pick as my Make-A-Wish?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know this, I should just make an answer, but I'm going to be like, well, what do I have? Like, how debilitated am I? Like, how tired am I?
I'm going to stab you to death in 3 months. And they know.
Oh, wow.
Like, you feel fine.
I'm fully functional.
Yeah.
As functional as I am now and as comfortable as I am now. I get to do one thing. I think it would literally be not need any responsibilities or money for that 3 months. Like that is kind of like not an issue, but not a Brewster's Millions or like having infinite access. But that would just be like, I don't have to work. I don't have to make any meals. I can pick whatever the meals are. I mean, this is going to be real low bar.
Yeah.
And I get to
something fun, but you went.
I get to spend.
No, I was dull and practical.
If it's well, I mean, it's honestly, it's the same thing that we talk about. Like, oh man, if we just hit the lottery one day, whatever that is, right? Everybody is hoping to hit the lottery in some way, whether it's actual lottery or what it's the life lottery of like, oh man, if money wasn't a thing, I'd get that vacation house, or I'd go to Europe, or I'd go do this, or blah blah blah. All right, so if like money's not a thing, I would still live my days, but like the stressors of like, I have to complete this or I have to achieve this. I would try creating things, and I would probably organize within that 3 months things that I would like to accomplish and create art wise, while also spending time with my friends. Those are going to overlap, the art creations. And the other time is for the rest of my days when the kids aren't at school or doing what they need to do to develop beyond me in the 3 months after I'm gone. I want them to have normalcy with that. But then the other times is we're not going to have the stress of making dinner. That's going to be taken care of us. We're going to be able to spend time with one another because I'm not worried about, doing this. That's what I would do. And I know that's a dumb answer.
I mean, yeah, that's why, like, when somebody, when there's like a death or somebody has a new baby or something, you're like, well, yeah, like I'll send you guys a lasagna. Like I'll make a meal that you can just heat up, and then that's a couple hours that you don't have to worry about. It's incredibly helpful. But yeah, I was looking for something more fun. I was gonna say, like, I would have Mr. T drive me around in the 18 van.
Now you seem like an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, other than that,
we all knew
that
was going to be we all knew what the punchline was going to be without knowing what the punchline was going to be.
Well,
I say a long, like, emotional thing, and then you're just like, yeah, Mr. T and the van.
Me and those surviving members of the A team just do a ookie cookie.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it gets weirder because I'm going to tell my daughters, no, they can't come, and they're going to say, but we only have.
Oh, they wouldn't want to.
Yeah, they're like, go do that, Dad. But so, I unfortunately probably only have about 20 more minutes of the podcast because real life, I'm sorry, is coming into play, and I'm being asked to obtain something that is not looking easy.
Okay, then let's speed run this thing, because the thing we keep setting up and getting distracted from. So in Nebraska, we were going to take a nap. Instead, we decided to break the story for what would be, I believe it was an 8-issue run. Called Batman versus Billy Madison.
Did we break up each issue? Did we come up with 8 Robins?
No, because one is the setup.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, basic premise is Billy Madison moves to Gotham. Carl.
I can't remember who instigated this, but I was just like, I think there's a world where.
Yeah, I don't remember why we started doing this, but
Christopher Nolan, Bruce Wayne, like the Christian Bale, the one who has to act like he's a dumb billionaire playboy. I was like, oh man, who
he starts hanging out with Billy Madison as like a cover. Yeah. So people will be like, oh, he's hanging out with this idiot. Carl is super old now because it's however many years since Billy Madison came out. So I think we originally had him die, but then we changed our mind so that he could hang out with Alfred. He wants to step down and retire.
He's married to the maid. He's married to the maid, the black woman from Billy Madison. They are de facto Billy Madison parents.
So Billy is finally ready to show that he can actually run the company this time.
Yeah.
And he's doing something with Bruce Wayne. He figures out that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
So Bruce Wayne uses him one of the nights, as he does, to Bruce Wayne doesn't usually have to do much. Bruce Wayne just throws his drink in a plant when they're out partying or whatever, just doesn't take shots, isn't smoking reefer, isn't doing whatever. And so one of those nights, it's at Wayne Manor, and he thinks Billy.
Yeah, Billy gets drunk and he follows the penguin into the Batcave, I believe is what we landed on.
Yes.
And the hallucination penguin, not Oswald Cobblepot penguin.
Yes, because then when Bruce hears getting ready to get suited up or figuring out why he has to go out for the bat signal, he hears, "Oh, get back here, penguin!" And like he's just like, "Oh fuck, the penguin's here," and he's like, and Billy did it. Yeah,
so
Adam Sandlering it.
Carl doesn't think Billy's ready, so Carl is trying to get Wayne Enterprises to buy Madison Hotels.
That's right.
But Billy wants to run the company now.
Yes.
He's hanging out with Bruce, finds out Bruce is Batman. He tells Bruce that he wants to like be a Robin, like for a night. Like he doesn't want to do it full time.
Let me be Robin. And then Bruce is like, no, you're an idiot. And he's just like, you take out kids.
Yeah.
You put people in harm's way like how many times?
Right. The same way that Billy would like pay to have you know, a race car driver take him around. And he's just like, yeah, well, I'll give you $1 billion. He's like, I don't need $1 billion. I'm already Bruce Wayne.
And he's like, I'll give you the company, I think, right?
If you think,
do it, or this is what I can't remember what
I forget the exact business deal.
Yeah.
But we know Carl has to step down because he's super old. Billy secretly wants to run the company, but he's trying to get Bruce to buy it and he won't. So he tells Bruce that if he doesn't buy the company and let him be Robin, I'm going to tell everybody that you're Batman. And then he just threatens him, as he's done a bunch of times in comics when people figure out. He's like, well, then I will beat you within an inch of your life because I don't kill people, but you don't know that as a
the best one of my favorite variations of this, and I can't cite a direct comic, but it's an episode of The Adventures of Superman where this low-level mafia guy and his mall figure out that Clark Kent is Superman. So Superman flies them to a side of a mountain in the Arctic. And he's just like, hey, I need to go do something and figure out what I'm going to ultimately do with you because you've now threatened that you're going to blow my spot. So, but here's the thing is, don't try to climb down from this mountain. It'll be cold. It's not going to be cool. Like, it's not going to be a great time that you're going to be here.
Yeah.
But as long as you stand here, I'm going to go figure out how to deal with you. And I will be back because I'm Superman. So the guy, of course, immediately wearing his like fucking tux slippery shoes is just like, I think I can climb down, and then they both fall. They die, and it's like Superman didn't kill them,
right?
But he definitely chose.
You're safe in this 10-foot
scenario.
If you leave it, hey, that's on you.
Yeah.
So he threatens Billy, and then Billy, in mirroring Billy Madison, proposes that if he can beat each Robin, then Bruce has to buy the company and let him be Robin. So that sets up the week-to-week grade thing.
Yes.
So he has to defeat all the Robins, one Robin per week.
A little bit of Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
A little bit of Scott Pilgrim, but I like the thing that we came up with where Bruce doesn't tell the Robins because he's like, Dick's up first. Do you think Billy Madison's going to beat up Dick Grayson? Do you think Billy Madison's going to beat up Nightwing? I think he'll be fine.
Immediately, yeah.
And I don't think we came up with the specifics of how he's going to defeat each Robin. I know with Dick, he just gets the drop on him in some goofy way that like kind of sells it as this is all a joke. But then, so he goes in chronological order of the Robins. A thing that you and I almost came to blows over.
Well, it was the amount of time.
That as well. But you're like, oh, like why would he start with Nightwing? It's because Dick was first. He's got to go. You go through. You can't do 8th grade, then 2nd grade. You got to do them in chronological order. It's got to be a week because we're mapping Billy Madison. So he's got to defeat Nightwing. Then he's got to go defeat Red Hood.
Well, I could also justify that you start off with whoever the youngest is because that would correlate the most to the grade thing. And then he matures, right? So like at first, part of what he needs to learn is, okay, even if... So, but again, how did we end on it to where it was the business choice? Because then would it be Damian?
Damian's the last one.
Okay.
Well, he has to beat them all.
Yeah.
And then... I think the thing we came up with was because everyone knows that he's hanging out with Bruce Wayne and the Madison Hotels is going to be up for sale. Everyone thinks Wayne's going to buy it. It drives the stock up, but Wayne doesn't want to buy it because Billy's a buffoon. But he keeps beating the Robins. I think I had this thought on the drive home and didn't even write it down because I was driving. But I think one of them he has to defeat in like a dodgeball style training exercise for sure.
Okay.
Because of the dodgeball scene where he's just like wailing on kids. Maybe that's Damian because he's so much smaller than the other ones.
I thought we had it ending in the boardroom and whatever the business decision that Billy made.
Well, that's Billy's big reveal that he wants to run the company. Like he didn't really. Carl wanted Bruce to buy it. Billy doesn't. Billy is using Bruce to drive the stock price up so that when he takes it over.
And that's the reveal
that's how he beats Batman.
That's how he beats Batman.
He beat Bruce in a business deal.
because we had him, I think, in like a full body cast that by the time he gets
he
to
gets
the
wrecked. Absolutely.
Yeah. No he is on life support.
Because he has to go through all the Robins. So he goes through Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake.
But it's Nightwing, Red
Hood. Current
iteration.
So he's fighting Nightwing, he's fighting Red Hood. Is Tim Drake currently Red Robin? I think so. And then
Kale Kelly?
No, because she's in the future. So I think we decided she gets an appearance because he fights Batmite at one point.
Because he
gets so blackout drunk, he sees Batmite, and then he has to defeat Batmite, who similarly like wants to be Batman's sidekick. Like that's Batmite's whole, reason for keep popping up and hanging out with Batman. He just wants to hang out with Batman. So Billy's doing the same thing. So I think maybe we can get Carrie Kelly in there somehow with the Batman thing.
And we got to have something with Veronica Vaughn where maybe they're on the outs a little bit, and because the double V name, like the Vicky Vale,
she's hanging out with Vicky Vale.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, I was gonna say maybe Bruce Veronica Vaughn out on a date.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, not looking nice.
So he has to go through each week and defeat each issue, so that it's one setup issue, and then it's an issue for each Robin, and then like the final one is him revealing this has all been an elaborate plan so I can finally take over the company. And it's great. DC, get at us. Jim Lee, give me a call.
Unfortunately, I have to bounce, and I am so sorry. I know that this is our time, but if I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Do it, baby. Take care of a thing that is way more important than talking about Batman fighting Billy Madison.
It's not. It's not, though, because that's what I want to do. Because it entertains the shit out of me. But yes, I love you, sir. It was great seeing you come through Cincinnati this past week. And
we got to hang out a bit. That was nice.
Yeah. And I'll talk to you later.
Take it easy, bud. Bye.
Bye.